So in this project, we'll be making our complete Flappy Bird. So let's get started. So first thing you want to do is just grab that resources, and there will be this image folder. Just open it, and there are our Flappy Bird assets or sprite as you call it. And similarly we have here pipe body, pipe end, and we'll deal with each of these images. And just make sure you grab that one and just copy it first, and make sure you open this Pygame. And in this Pygame, what you're gonna do is inside this folder, that is project folder, go and just paste it here as an image. Just leave it as image, and you have now images in this your project file. So just see here, that is the background and bird. We have this bird wings, ground, and similarly we have more images. So this all images will be important. So firstly what we're gonna do is just create in this, go in this project file, go here new, and just create a Python file and just name it as Flappy Bird, like here Flappy and B with capital here, and just click OK, and you are good to go. So one thing before going into the code I want to mention here is just go to this file and setting, and inside this basically in the left hand side there is a panel that is project and colon and your project folder. So inside that just go to this project interpreter and make sure you have installed this Pygame. So other are optionals, but this Pygame should be, otherwise you want to go through this course. So make sure this you install Pygame. So as to install the Pygame, go to this here a green button here, plus green button, and click here and search for Pygame here. That will be Pygame, and just make sure you get this, the first one suggestion here, that is a Pygame, and just click that, and you can go here in the down, that is install package and manage repository. So we'll just stick to here, that is install package for me, and make sure you have internet connection and just install that package, and now you are good to go. So after that you will have here a Pygame, and just click OK, and you are good to go with the course. So saying that, we'll just firstly import our some of the modules, and that will be first math module, and this math module is similarly to do some of the automatic operations. And similarly we just have this import OS module. This OS module is to open the file and handle it. Similarly we'll just import from random. What we're gonna have is we'll have import that is randint for the random integer within the range, and similarly from collection just import dq. So dq, so what this basically dq is, it is same like a queue or a stack, and it is also iterable. That means you can loop through this data of the dq. So dq is similar to the queue, or you can also say stack. So now we'll import, that will be Pygame. Obviously we'll import this Pygame, and now we'll just from Pygame, and from pygame.locals we'll import, that is everything. So basically why we did this pygame.locals is basically this is standard Pygame functions, and we don't have to now call through this Pygame and dot basically. So you can just directly call maybe anything like a clock function or anything that will be directly called without this having this Pygame to write. So after that we'll just create here base variables for us to work with, and base variables will be first, that is frame per second, and this frame per second will be, let me say it is 60 frame per second. Similarly we'll have this animation speed, all in capital space, and give it space, and just give this 0.18. So this is a random here. So animation speed means basically pixel per millisecond. This is the animation speed, and it is very standard animation speed for the Flappy Bird. So make sure you have your 0.18 pixel per millisecond. So this base variable are basically a default variable or standard variable for the Flappy Bird. So next thing what we're gonna do is the window height, basically a window width first. So window width will be 284 and multiplied by 2. So why the multiplied by 2? Because we have the minimum width, and that would be the background image here. So background image, we have this in this image. Go to this image and see this background image, and if you see this background image, it is something that is 284 times 512. So we are sticking here, that is a 284 here, but into 2 is basically it should be tiled twice. So for that purpose we have here multiplied by 2. So similarly we'll just now see here, instead of width we'll have height now, height, and that height would be 512 obviously, because we have this background image at 512. So we have here 512 height. So after that what you're gonna do is we're gonna just create a main function. So this will be the main function. So let's create the main. So this is the function main, and all the program will start from this. So this is basically our main flow of program. So everything you call our functions or class should be from here. That means this is the main function or the function that will be called at first. So after that what you're going to do in this function is obviously you will initialize this Pygame, and also we'll just have this display, and let me just create here display surface, so as to give the basically the surface for our game, and that would be like pygame dot display, that would be display for me, and display dot, we have set mode here. So this is the set mode, and set mode will have this minimum height and minimum width. So let me just give it in tuple. Here should be tuple, and it should be window first width, and after that we'll have height, that is window height and width, and basically this is our tuple. So next thing what you're gonna do here is basically give the caption. This is the basically name of the game. If you just print that console, so that the name should be like caption there. So display dot set caption. So caption, just to give a title for the caption. So you can also give the icon. So I'll just have your Flappy Bird with an icon. So let me say it is a Flappy Bird. Our game is a Flappy Bird, and we have no basically icon. So similarly I'll just create a clock here. So this is the clock variable, and this clock, let me say it is a small clock, and this clock variable will just have the pygame dot time. This is the time module inside this pygame, and we'll simply call this clock function. So we have now clock function. So let me give a quick space here, and now we have this clock function in this clock. And now what we're gonna do is just have this score font, so as to just initialize the font. What should be the score, or basically what should be the font of the score that will be displayed. So that would be font dot sys font. So if you get confusion here what is this sys font or font is, so make sure you check out this Pygame tutorial. That will be something in this before this section, and that is important in order to get the good grasp on this project. So none, that means we don't have specified that is name of the font, and this will be 32. You can see here that is the 32 size, and it should be bold. Bold is true. So let me get bold is true. So this is basically our default font. So let me just type here as a default font. So after that what you're gonna do is just images, load that images that we have here in the images folder, and just load that. So for that we'll just make our own function. So first what you're gonna do is just call here load images. So we haven't created this load images function yet, and maybe we'll create now. So let's create this load image function. So let me just create here, and that would be define load images for me, that is the function. And you can see now the error has been removed because we have now just created this load image. So basically what this load image will be, how this will be implemented basically. So let me comment here first, and this inside this will have something that is load images, and required by the game. Obviously it will the required by the game all the images, and return this function will return the dictionary, basically dictionary of them. So this will just return also dictionary, this function load images. So what should this return basically? So let me see what should it return. So let me say now, first will be background. It will just return us a background of our game, and obviously that would be the background image. And similarly what it's gonna return is the bird, so it will just have this bird wings up and wing down, basically wing up, and it will also just have your bird wing down. And what we're gonna have next is that is a pipe in and pipe body, pipe in, and similarly you have pipe body. So what this background is, basically this is our game background image, and bird wings up is basically image of a bird, and it's basically this both the 2 and 3, that is number here, is just denoting the wings that is pointing upward and downward. Similarly you can see in this down wing and down, you can also check this image, this is down and similarly this is up, so this will be returned. And similarly what we're gonna do is we'll have this pipe in and pipe body. So these both are the basically will be used to make the pipe, basically used to make the pipe. You can see here in this pipe in and pipe body. So what you're gonna do here is basically this pipe body is the image of a slice of a pipe body. So now what you're gonna do is define another that will be the load image here. Basically it should be inside these load images, just remember that, and just pass something that is image here, image file name, just pass image file name. So let me just comment it again and show you what it gonna be doing, basically this load image. So basically what it will do is it will just return us that is the loaded Pygame image, obviously, and with the specified file name, that is the file name, because we have given here file name, image file name, so it will just return that loaded Pygame image. So this function will also look the images in the game images folder, that is the basically this path, that is images path, and similarly it will just give that images from us from this folder, that is images folder. And similarly what it will do is it converts, then all the images are converted before being returned to the speed of bleeding. That means it will also do some conversion in order to speed up the bleeding. So this is important. So let's define this load image function now outside this commenting. So first what we're gonna do is just have this file name, let me say file underscore name, and this file underscore name will get this OS, that is how imported our module in order to handle this file, and we'll just have this path here, os.path, in order to get the path, and join, we have join here, and it will just join our paths here. So what it's gonna be is basically it will just have this point because we need these images, so we'll join first this, and similarly we'll join that is images here, images, and it is images folder, you can see here. And similarly what will join is this image file name, that will be here image file name that we passed in this function. So it will just create us a file name, that is a basically a path for to check for this file name, that is a complete path. So after that what we're gonna do is basically we'll just have this image variable, and this will have this pygame dot image and dot load. So it will just load us image, and that would be this load, and it will just load us this file name. So image has been loaded into img now. So just convert this image first, so that would be the convert function, and that is the function that is loaded, basically this is the function of Pygame. And after this function, what this function is gonna do is it will change the pixel format of the image. That means it just create a new copy of the surface with the pixel format changed, basically. So it is the very important to just convert this pixel of an image, and after that we'll just have something that is the, it will just return us a image, that is img. that is basically after loading this file name, because we have just loaded the image from this file name into img, and I'll just return this img after converting. Basically we have returned from this load image function, but we haven't returned anything from this load images function. So we'll just do that, and I have already said you this will basically return your dictionary, that is the return dictionary of them. So it will just return a dictionary. So I'll just return here, that is a dictionary. So dictionary format will be inside this basically the curly braces, and let me give space here. So this is the dictionary basically. So what we're gonna do is, firstly we have background, that is background. We'll just create a key first, and that background will be load image. So we have just get from this load image, we'll just call this load image again, and inside that what we're gonna get is, we'll just load image with this background dot png, because we need now background, that is this from this folder, that is from this image, that is background.png. Similarly we'll create another, that is the key, and that would be pipe-ind, and this pipe-ind will take, that is load image. So we'll call this load image again, and this will just be as pipe-ind. It is here, the naming should be exactly the same, that is the inside this image, so is something that is pipe-in.png. Similarly what we're gonna do next is, after this comma, just put here comma, and the next thing is the next key basically will be pipe body. Let me say it is pipe body, and this pipe body will have also call this load image, and just give the file name here for the pipe body, and that would be pipe and this is a body, pipe body.png. that is the same file name here, that is the, if you take here, this is the file body, that pipe body, not file body, it is pipe body. And similarly we have just loaded these 3 images. So this basically these 2 images, now after this basically after this pipe int and pipe body is for the pipe now. So we have to add 2 more images, that is for this wing of the bird, that is up wing and down wing. So basically in the case of a Pygame, GIF or animated GIF are not supported, so we have to just load in this way. So after that what we're gonna do is just check for the pipe. Basically it is not now, it should be the bird wings up. Let me say the bird wing up, and it's the key, and let me just load it again from the basically it should be birds, bird and wing up file, wing up, and just don't forget to give the extension, that is png extension. And similarly what we're gonna do next is, we have now one more, that is the bird wings down. So that would be like bird, let me create the key first, so that would be bird wing and down. This is the another image, and this image will be loaded as something that would be same as here, that is the bird wing and down. So we have just imported all the images to our module. Now what we're gonna do next is basically you can see in this lecture we define a main, that is this main function, and in the main we created the basic layout for the game, and we imported all our images in this layout. So if you run game at this moment, you would just get a black screen and nothing more. So in the next lecture let's create the bird class and see how it works. So see you there.